That's the basic policy outline, also derived out of Monroe's motivated sequence. I want to show you one more very basic outline. This is called a value speech outline. Once again, as usual, we start with a intro. We add in a background. Now, here's the thing with a value speech. I'm going to show you this. This is going to look stupidly simple for a minute. Value 1, value 2, value 3, conclusion. Okay, so in your introduction on a value speech, you are going to give me a hook and then tell me what makes X good or bad, okay? So for example, let's say I want to do a speech on, well, I think I talked about Star Wars earlier. Let's do that, okay? I say, I want to make, the purpose of my speech is to persuade my audience that the original trilogy let's go with that. That the original trilogy for Star Wars... Yeah, let's even go a step further. That Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. Okay? So if that's going to be what I'm talking about in my speech, then for this part, the tell me what makes it good or bad, I'll say, there are 3 things that make a movie great. Right? Then I'll list the 3 things, right? Thing 1, thing 2, thing 3, right? I'll talk about those 3 things, and those are then the values. And so when I am then using the speech, I talk about how the the thing I am advocating for satisfies this value better than other competing things do, right? And I do that for each of these, right? All of them, I talk about how it does better, right? I'll talk about the good of the thing I am advocating for, the bad of the thing that competes with it, right? So for each of these points, for each of these values, I'm doing this. Let's change it maybe to bikes again, because we were talking about that, right? So there are 3 things that make a mode of transportation great, okay? Thing 1, I like to start with my second strongest point. So let's say maybe speed, okay? Then probably the strongest one for bikes is going to be economy, and then maybe let's say health. There we go. And then economy can even be broken up into individual things. So that's fantastic. Okay, so there's going to be our 3 things, and so I'll say knowing that this makes a great form of transportation, we are forced to conclude that the bicycle is the best form of transportation, right? So then value 1 is going to be speed, value 2 is going to be health, and value 3 is going to be economy. Let's just do economy really quickly. I'm going to talk about initial cost. I'm going to talk about ongoing maintenance. Maybe I'll even add in something else with economy. What about like maybe ease of use? Ooh, safety. No, safety should go in under health, don't you think? Yeah, so let's go with health. Let's go safety. No, let's save safety for last in health. Let's go physical well-being, right? Mental well-being and safety, okay? And then we'll compare it agreeably against things, right? So anyway, and then as I'm going through each of these categories and talking about them, I'm going to bear in mind that probably the main competitor for a bicycle would be the car, and so I'll oftentimes compare it to a car, right? I'll say a bicycle is capable of burning X calories per mile. Conversely, most people driving a car over the same distance are cramming food into their faces. There we go. So you go, and I don't think I'll end up using this language. I'm just writing out for myself the logic in which I'm going to be doing this, right? I'll probably talk about, you know, other things. Maybe a visual of a fit bike rider. Right, there we go. So anyway, I'll start building it out in these particular ways. So that's a basic value speech. I love value speech outlines because it's like when I played games with my children when they were super, super small. Like, I've got an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old right now. But back when they were smaller, when they were like 3 and 6 and that sort of thing, I'd play games with them, but they would not want you to win those games. And so if it looked like you might win, then they would reinvent the game in some way. They would make up some rules to make sure that they won. So it'd be like if they're playing Candyland with you, and then they draw an orange card. Then they'll say, oh, but if you get an orange card when you're near the licorice forest, then you go all the way up to here, right? So they'll make up some rule that makes sure that they win. The thing that I like about value speech is you're basically doing the exact same thing. You're choosing your own victory conditions. What is it that makes you win? And then you show how the thing that you have selected fulfills those conditions better than anything else. So you actually get to choose what it is that choose the events that you're competing in to make absolutely certain that your chosen thing actually emerges victorious. So it's a lot of fun. It's very manipulative because because people will agree with you very quickly on this point, which means that then convincing them in the value speech that this particular value is superior is kind of a cakewalk. So anyway, value speech outlines, very fun. Out of all of these, my personal favorite to do is a policy outline. I think that those are the most entertaining. They're also the easiest to remember, to keep in your head. I like a good problem solution outline. A problem solution outline is by far the easiest to write. It's the fastest to write. It's slightly slow to memorize, but definitely the most intuitive. And a value speech outline, those just sort of make me snicker a little bit. And I have to admit, most of the time when you're using a value speech outline, you're talking about something really interesting and fun. And so value speeches tend to be really beautiful things, really enjoyable to listen to. So these are the new outline types, 4 new outline types for you to experiment with. What I'd like for you to do is take a look at the topics that you're messing around with. Take a look at your propositional statements that you are contemplating right now. And think about how it is that these propositional statements could be realized in the different persuasive speech outline varieties that we've just covered. Once you've had a chance to do that, go ahead and pick one of these outline types and write out that outline type. Attach your propositional statement to it, and you'll be on your way. You'll have a skeletal outline at that point. All right. Thank you very much for bearing along with me. I think that is all we've got right now. Talk to you guys later. Bye.